getting the transfer order, and hopefully we have them over there next week.
Very good. And then we have a 7/20/27 date. We read that?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Have a good day.
Now it's 2027, correct?
2027, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For boot camp, Officer Barrientos, the case of Young.
Yes, Judge, on 19M. I have this placed on calendar, Judge, just to inform the court, of course, of Mr. Young's death.
Yes. As a result, the probation is terminated at this point successfully.
Successfully.
All right, anything else after Barrientos?
Yes, Judge, on page 7, I have Calvin Thomas, Officer Barrientos, on behalf of Miami-Dade County Corrections Boot Camp Program.
Yes.
He's on today for boot camp evaluation. Mr. Thomas is eligible for the boot camp program. The memo should be in his file sometime this week. We just submitted it upstairs
Okay.
today.
And Ms. Cole, I know Ms. Woodwarak is not here right now, but if you could just let her know that he does qualify for boot camp, and then we'll be back 9/10/9/22.
Absolutely, Judge, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else after Barrientos?
No, that's it, Judge.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Ms. Baptista, while you're at the podium, and Mr. DePost is there on Zoom on page 9 and 10, actually, and part of 11, Antavius Harris. Mr. Harris. Harris, good morning. All right, Ms. Baptista, what are the guidelines and any plea offers in these cases?
Case Vanessa Baptista on behalf of the state, the defendant scores 265.95 months state prison up to life with 3 10-year firearm inmans in F25-19904B, F25-20735B, and F25-19897A. The state's offer is an adjudication, 5 years state prison, followed by 10 years reporting probation, special conditions of a stay-away order from all victims in all the cases, and also restitution.
All right, Mr. DePost, have you received that offer previously? Do you wish to come back at some point this week? What are your wishes at this point?
Thank you, Your Honor. The hope is that I did speak with Ms. Cole last week about the fact that I did not think that my case would be closed today. The state had originally offered these. They have to be taken at the same time. I had my client set Friday for video conference. For some reason, he was not brought. Can we reset to August 20th? I'm going to go in person to meet him.
Plea 820. Defense district officer. And then that leads us to pages 11 through 15 for Ralph Pittman. Mr. Pittman, good morning. State, what are the guidelines and any plea offers?
The defendant scores 273.975 months state prison up to life with 3 10-year firearm inmans in those same cases, Judge. And the state's offer is also an adjudication, 5 years state prison, followed by 10 years reporting probation with special conditions of a stay-away order from all the victims in all the cases and restitution.
Ms. Cole?
Your Honor, we have extended a defense counteroffer. I do believe that we should be able to resolve both of these cases. As Mr. DeVos stated, I believe the state wants to close them out at the same time, so if the 20th is the next possible date, then I suppose that we can just set it for that date.
Plea 820, Mr. Pittman must be brought to court.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Page 16 and 17, Cervante Wiggins. Mr. Wiggins, good morning. I believe one of the cases was set the trial, right?
Yes,
That's correct.
F25-27673.
Is the state ready?
No, Judge, so the state would be requesting a continuance. I understand at the sounding date, the victim was supposed to be present. I'm not sure if the judge is aware, but the victim was present in our office that day. However, he had suffered 2 seizures while in our office, so he had to be transported to Ryder Trauma Center.
Okay.
My victim witness counselor did speak to him sometime last week to inform him of today's date. He was still in the ICU, and he sounded very short of breath, and he said that he can't come into court today.
Okay.
But he did express that he is willing to cooperate in this case, and he is on board. So we would just be asking for a reset. I would ask for the next sounding date, and hopefully the victim is in better conditions at that
Ms. Cole?
Judge, this alleged victim has been excluded without prejudice. At this point, there have been many issues with his ability to participate in any kind of prosecution. I understand the state's position. Mr. Wiggins has been in custody for quite a while on this case, and we've never been able to take a deposition of this alleged victim. He was already excluded because of several missed depositions, and we ruled ready because at this point, I don't believe that he is going to be cooperating with the state's case, and at this point has been excluded, so I would be objecting to any reset.
All right, so it is gonna be a final state continuance, but I am gonna give you, Ms. Baptista until Wednesday the 12th, to make sure that the deposition is set up. If it's not, the alleged victim needs to be on Zoom to explain exactly the reasoning of what's going on, because it sounds now like the individual should be in a position that they could be deposed. And so it's an absolute final state continuance, 8/20 for sounding, 8/31 for trial, all cases.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, I have the other case that he has, the less serious case.
Yes, yes, that's gonna be set for trial 8/20, 8/31.
Got it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, back on page 3, Shaquille Dixon. Mr. Dixon, what was your lawyer's name again? Say it again?
Evan Hoffman, Your Honor.
Yeah, but what did you say? Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say that's not what it sounded like. Okay, so I know he withdrew. When did you speak to him about becoming your lawyer again? And he said he was gonna file pleadings with the court? Today, okay. All right, well, let me just pass for a few more minutes and see if he comes to court. That, other than, okay, well, he has to advise the court in some way, so, we'll need to figure that out. But other than Ms. Clenney's case, that looks like it's the only case that I've passed. Does anybody have anything to call or recall?
I believe that's it, Judge.
Okay, all right. So, let me give it about 10 minutes or so, because I know you all have to do some regrouping. If nobody shows up in that amount of time, we'll just reset it for tomorrow, okay? All right, we'll be in a brief recess. Okay.
All rise.
Can you bring him back on Wednesday? Wiggins? Thank you.
So you're gonna bring him back on Wednesday? You better let Carlos know. Wiggins. Carlos. Wednesday, print Wiggins for plea. Wiggins. I know the judge gave it to you.
What's the date?
It's the 12th. The judge gave it. Or she wanted for Wednesday also. Ms. Cole.
Ms. Cole going brought
Wiggins. She wanted one for plea on Wednesday also.
Carlos, it's reset for Wednesday for the alleged victim to be on Zoom, so I just want Mr. Wiggins to be able to come to see what goes on with that. She said it for the 12th. Yeah, It's set Wednesday.
No, she said 8:20. Now
She also said 8:12.
no, she didn't. She said 8:20, 8:31.
Vanessa, Wiggins was set 8:12 also for the victim to come.
It was Wednesday.
Right.
Just Wednesday though.
This Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
8:20 for.
8:20 for sound.
Yes.
Yeah, but she also said 8:12.
I didn't hear that. You heard it? Right.
Okay, for him to just come on Zoom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I wrote it down.
Jesus, get it together, people.
Can we just set it so that he can come? Set it. Yeah, sure. Please. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Mr. Courtney, sorry.
What's going on? What you coming for? He don't need to come.
Definitely do need to come. Know what's going on in my life, I definitely need to come.
I've been doing this a long time.
Hey, anything?
Yes. Say it.
Okay. So, got me to the plea Thursday, sweetie. That day, sweetie.
I'm listening. I am. They think you sweet. He took a plea on Thursday.
On Thursday, right?
Yeah.
But he picked up a battery, so that in order for him to go to prison, they want him to be set on calendar for the battery. Carlos.
What people done? What people done? In jail.
I know, right? Well, yes, Carlos, you got 14 years.
Girl, everybody was crazy today. I'm sorry. Everybody crazy today.
15 years, actually. Everybody wish it was outside.
So you want me to put on here court terminate probation succession?
Yeah, who was this? She said,
I gotta post it for sure.
yeah, just tell us.
I just unfortunately like it's given that it's not going to be dismissed on Wednesday. So I'll all I can do is push it, you know. But obviously it's
Thank you. Right. If he don't show up, we gonna put him on for tomorrow.
Thank you for tomorrow.
No.
Wednesday. Thank you. I'll see you Wednesday.
We need to ship him right afterwards.
I know.
Thank you.
You heard me, Harvey? And ship him back right after court. Put him right back on federal bus.
He been causing problems. That's why she.
That's why if he ain't red, if he gets in a woman, he
He stabbed somebody.
stabs somebody.
You made him a shame.
Another inmate. That's why it's bad.
You made him a shame.
I don't know. Listen, I told him the other day, I said, why you ain't red? Because the majority of the time he hasn't been in red. He hasn't been in trouble. So I said, what you doing, bro? What you got going on? But he's supposed to be going back to federal, going back to federal.
That's why she said ship him right away. ASAP.
Who I need to talk to about this traffic? Because I had a traffic on
I
Friday.
don't know. I don't do traffic.
The juvenile took house arrest, but he got a traffic case. That was house arrest, alternate bond, $1.
We don't have access to it. Harvey,
Yes.
we don't have access. I don't get mad now.
Oh, okay.
I don't get mad. Costa was here all last week, but he didn't want to come today. He needed to be here. Ain't that something? Here you go on my coffee. I'm gonna try one. Here you go, baby.
I wrote it in the joke.
Thank you, yeah, I can just tell my meeting. Yeah, take it down. Yeah, but I think the guys.
I'm gonna see if she, if anything happens.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Let me turn to real quick on page 3, Mr. Shaquille Dixon. I'm going to set that for tomorrow, page 11. That being said, if we hear anything from Mr. Hoffman before that, then I'll probably tell corrections we don't need to have you brought tomorrow, because we've got 9:3 and 9:14, but for now, just let's make sure you have a lawyer. If we don't hear anything, then we'll see you tomorrow, 8:11. Okay? All right, so that appears to conclude the calendar, but for the 3. So I will take a break, and when everyone is assembled, directions and everyone, we can come back out and take care of that. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
Gustavo.
What's the book? Yeah, give me the stick back. Stop again.
First,
So
I actually like all your writing. Like you do like pizza, give me some fun. Yeah. Okay, no, that's kind of, because I don't know. Well, number one.
yeah.
They are not
Yeah.
able to be on the which is obviously important. Frankly, but I think the reason we just told them, it's great, it's wonderful, but I don't know. But I think that my point is that we're not in that if these are the two options, I'm happy, but I'm not gonna, it's not my case anyways, and I think we will prefer to stick with what is.
Get it over with. Quick.
I can try to support. I've never, this was the third mistrial, so now we're gonna have to try to report. No, I guess technically the first time was good, but the second time it was the very last witness, I charged my victim. Now I'm jury mistrial.
Quick, fast, then I heard.
That's awful. This report is now makes me mind about.
Everybody get out and be gone. colors. That's all we need to do. Nothing else. Talk about nothing. Just do what we gotta do.
And then of course, that is that.
We'll get it done, but I see Larry.
Now, like I did, I could see right. It's even worse. It's like, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. They're gonna reset the date today. She told me half of the I knew I was just like 1 year ago. I know it's not but I'm gonna get here certified.
How?
I finished my calendar in 5 seconds.
So he's worried for your full CC, but you know, why does he keep CCing us? Who is it?
You said right. My listener said right here.
Everybody's here. Where's the mate's phone?
Huh?
Everybody's here. Where's the mate's phone?
Me?
Let's do help.
Girl, get out. Quick and better.
It's better.
I don't need to hear nobody talk. And we should have did that. I would have did like 12 of them. Oh, I didn't want to get that far. You got to deal with it. I thought it was straight. Yeah, I thought it was going to be straight. Somebody So on their Ramon pay, they just gonna change his total, but they don't have a program in the
Whatever the condition
They don't have this on the they just have oh, they got in a plea agreement? I didn't see it, that's what I was reading. It said to finish they say the program, they don't say nothing about it. No, this is the picture. It's probably something that he has to do on his own. Online. She didn't write it. Yeah, that's why, but I was reading, he was saying a program, like, what program? She just put it. I'm gonna put a stick and put one line. Because I was trying to get his attention, like, what program? Santana's 9-1, right? The one above that? Or 5 above? Okay. You don't need that. Follow that news man.
Perhaps. I just wanted to make sure that you're on board for that.
Everybody else.
As long as you're not coming It doesn't have to be done. It doesn't have to be done. It's draftable orders. Awesome. Yeah.
You have the registration? I got a piece of paper saying, the one that's wrong.
I don't think so. All right.
I'll talk to you with a shoe, anything you hear. So you could have say, I'm sorry.
What you need, black, blue, red? It don't matter. You're welcome. get another cup. Sean, coffee bags?
Huh?
Coffee. Coffee.
Yeah, there's some. You have time. You have time, by the way.
That's what we was asking.
Yes. Thanks for letting me move it quickly. Thanks. You guys are gonna go. You gotta go over there.
Well, I haven't had her sign up.
Good. For your first time, you go back there. The defense attorney.
Diane.
Defense attorney sister. It's gonna be ordered at some point. It's just a question as whatever needs to go wrong. They're gonna be here. They're gonna open up this week, the next four spots. My last little thing is,
Fair enough.
we need both you guys to sign.
Harvey, was Pittman here? Pittman was here? Yeah. Okay.
evaluation now. He can clock it in after.
You gotta make sure you got everything right.
I know I got everything right.
Okay.
That's fine.
No problem. It's on his paper. I know, huh?
Which one did that?
Carlito, welcome back.
Please keep your phones on your lap at all times.
You got it right? You got it right? Okay. You can just give it to the judge. You can just... You need to write it down? You sure? This is right? She signed what? Yes, I'll be good.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Good morning. We're here in the case of the state of Florida versus Courtney Clenney. Would the parties please state their appearances for the record, starting with the state?
Yes, Your Honor. Sean Abuhoff on behalf of the state. Kathleen Hogue on behalf of the state, and then on behalf of the next of kin, Mr. Larry Hanfield.
Good morning. And on behalf of Ms. Clenney?
Good morning, Your Honor. Frank Prieto on behalf of Ms. Clenney, along with my co-counsel, Ms. Sabrina Puglisi, and Ms. Diane Karamez. Ms. Clenney is present in custody, Your Honor.
And also, Judge, I apologize for interrupting, but also the next of kin is present. Mr. Hanfield is going to introduce them.
All right, thank you.
Yes, please stand. First, we have the mom, Mr. Oshino Obumseli. We have the brother, Jeffrey. Please stand. We have Karen. And we have other family members, Auntie. We have Clara. And we have Sandra.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you.
And Judge, just for the record, she's printing on page 2 of Your Honor's calendar.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Abuhoff, I understand the state will be filing an amended information at this time?
Yes, Judge, and in anticipation of this plea, the state has filed a amended information charging the defendant with 1 count of manslaughter with a deadly weapon. It is a first-degree felony, punishable up to 30 years in state prison. That changes her guideline score from what it was to now 124.5 months in state prison, up to 30 years in state prison.
All right, Mr. Prieto?
Yeah, Judge, we've entered plea not guilty, demand discovery, and request trial by jury at this time.
That being said, I understand the parties have reached a resolution in this case where Ms. Clenney will be pleading guilty. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right.
That is correct, Judge. I am passing up the written plea agreement that is signed by not only the state, the defendant, but also all of her attorneys. Major part of this, Judge, is that she's pleading guilty to this amended information, to the charge that was announced just now. There's a factual proffer that's a part of this plea agreement. We're going to ask Your Honor to read it. She will be agreeing to that factual proffer, but most importantly, she is agreeing and admitting that she is the cause of the stab wound that Mr. Obumseli received, and then that she is taking criminal responsibility for her actions. As part of this plea agreement, the state is willing to accept her plea. We've discussed this at length with the next of kin and certainly with Mr. Hanfield. And certainly when there's any agreement, no one is happy at the end of this, and we understand that. But the agreement that the state is willing to accept is that the defendant would be adjudicated guilty. She'll be sentenced to 6 years in state prison, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. As part of her probation, she must complete a mental health evaluation and treatment. There's a time frame in which she is to complete it. That's part of the plea agreement. Substance abuse evaluation and treatment, that's also a time constraint that's going to be in the agreement. And then it's 60 days, Your Honor. And then the batterer's intervention program. If she does violate her probation in any way at any point, she's waiving extradition back to Florida, and as well that she faces back to her guidelines, which are 124.5 months in state prison up to 30 years in state prison. Although not specifically in this plea agreement, the state attorney has asked me to discuss the topic specifically that it discusses, and it's important that nobody who is a convicted murderer to killing someone, if someone is convicted of murder, they are not to financially benefit as a result of that. That's Florida Statute 944.512. It's effectively our iteration of the Son of Sam law, but it is a statutory lien that attaches automatically, and if the Attorney General's office were to decide to seek some form of lien or process in that, then that we would be supporting them in that. We do believe that nobody should benefit financially from murdering somebody, so we will provide any evidence that they request. We'll work hand in hand with the Attorney General's office if they so seek to do some form of lien or some financial proceeding against Ms. Clenney, understanding that she will be released at some point and may seek to financially benefit as a result of this. But it's not part of the plea agreement, but it is something that attaches automatically.
All right. Mr. Prieto, I'll hear from you. As to the plea agreement in its written form, is that your understanding of the plea?
That is correct, Judge, and all the conditions and all the agreements are contained within that document. Outside the four corners of those multiple-page document, we do not agree that number 944.512 is constitutional. We reserve our right to challenge that.
At this point, that's not part of this proceeding. It attaches automatically. It is constitutional. It is the law. What they do subsequent hearings is to them. But as we stand here today, because it does attach, I'm just simply announcing that we will work hand in hand with the Attorney General's office. It needs no further discussion, but the fact is that no one should financially benefit from murdering somebody.
Well, Judge, I do have the right to speak on my client's behalf, and so I'm going to put on the record that we believe that statute's unconstitutional. It's not an issue for the plea agreement, like Mr. Adler said. It is 100% accurate. However, we reserve the right to challenge that in the future. We do not think it's constitutional, and it would be challenged should any Attorney General seek to enforce that, but that's an argument for another day should it arise.
All right. Very good. In preparation for today's proceedings, I have been privy to the agreed-upon plea, and I will ratify the agreement of the parties at this time based on the following. This case originated 4 years ago in 2022. Since then, the parties, both the state of Florida and the defense in this case, have engaged in diligent and extensive preparation of the case. That preparation consisted of a thorough investigation that included, but was not limited to, the routine discovery process that is involved in a complex criminal case, as well as literally thousands of pages of legal motions and responses, the consultation of experts from both sides who opined on various legal issues such as self-defense, battered partner syndrome, and issues regarding manner of death. Based on the investigation of the case and the resulting legal analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of this case from both the state's perspective as well as the defense, and perhaps most importantly, the victim's family's wishes to bring closure to this horrific and life-changing experience, the parties have reached a resolution that this court will not frustrate. The parties have also agreed on a factual proffer, as stated by the prosecutor, that I will now read into the record. The state of Florida and the defendant agree as to the following factual proffer. A. Christian Obumseli, hereafter the victim, and the defendant began dating in late 2020. Their relationship is defined by the parties as being extremely tempestuous and combative, as both have been involved in numerous domestic violence incidents. B. The victim and the defendant moved to South Florida in January 2022, taking up residence in a condominium located at 1 Paraiso Residences, located in Miami-Dade County. There were many complaints made by residents and security staff lodged against the couple during the 3 months that they resided in the complex. As a result, the management company was in the process of evicting the couple. C. On April 3rd, 2022, Miami Police and Miami Fire Rescue responded to their condo after a 911 call was made reporting a stabbing. Officers found the victim with a singular stab wound to the chest. After the incident, the defendant provided a knowingly, intelligent, and voluntarily made statement to the police, confirming that she was responsible for the stab wound. The knife penetrated approximately 8 centimeters into the victim's chest, puncturing the right subclavian artery. The victim was transported to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he died from his injuries. Madam Clerk, would you please swear in Ms. Clenney?
Yes, Your Honor. Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Courtney Clenney.
What is your date of birth?
4/29/96.
How far did you get in school?
I have no GED.
Do you have any history of mental illness?
I was diagnosed with severe PTSD.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, Your Honor.
Have you understood everything that was discussed with your attorneys prior to coming to court, as well as what we're doing here in court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand you wish to plead guilty to manslaughter in exchange for the plea that was read into the record a moment ago. Has anyone, including your own attorney, promised you anything other than that?
No.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or coerced you to accept a plea at this time?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen, this plea will result in negative immigration consequences such as deportation or removal?
Yes.
Have you spoken to your attorneys about that, and do you still wish to accept this plea knowing that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to remain silent and that silence cannot be used against you at trial?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to testify?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to confront, cross-examine, and present witnesses? Do you understand you're waiving your right to hold the state of Florida to its burden of proving the case beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to appeal? The following question does not seem to apply in this case, but I have to ask in every case. Do you understand if the offense to which you are pleading is a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, or if you've been previously convicted of such an offense, This plea may result in involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon the completion of your sentence.
Yes, I do.
You understand if you violate the terms and conditions of your probation, you're facing up to 30 years in the state prison.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you still wish to plead guilty?
I do.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty and you believe this plea is in your best interest? Have you spoken to your attorneys about the plea? Have they answered all of your questions?
Yes.
Do you need any more time to discuss the plea with your attorneys?
No, Your
Are
Honor.
you satisfied with their services?
I am.
I'd like to talk to you for a moment about the written plea agreement that I have in my hands. It is 8 pages, and on the bottom left of each page, it says defendant's initials, CC. Are those your initials?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you reviewed every line, every word, every page of this plea agreement with your attorneys?
Yes.
Now turning over to page 6 of 8. It's entitled Defendant's Representation of Effectiveness of Counsel. Is that your signature over the line which says Courtney Clenney, defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then each of your attorneys has also signed on pages 7 and 8, Mr. Prieto, Ms. Laura Puglisi, and Ms. Karamas. Are those your signatures?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
And finally, certificate of defendant on page 8 of 8. Once again, Courtney Clenney, defendant. Is that your signature on that line?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that even if I do not state orally here on the record that everything contained within this written plea agreement will be made part of the judgment and sentence, even if I don't say it out loud?
Yes.
Mr. Prieto, have you and your team reviewed all items of evidence disclosed by the state with Ms. Clenney?
We have.
Do the state or defense know of any items of physical evidence containing DNA that could exonerate the defendant? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None of it.
Does the defense waive PSI?
We wait PSI.
Do the state and defense stipulate to a factual basis? State?
State stipulates.
Defense?
will stipulate as contained in the plea agreement.
Ms. Clenney, I find the plea has been entered into knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently. That you understand the nature and consequences of the plea, there's a factual basis for the plea, and that you're represented by good and competent counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. At this time, I will be adjudicating you, and I'm going to turn to page 3 of 8, to the charge of manslaughter with a deadly weapon. I'm sentencing you to 6 years in the state prison with all applicable credit for time served, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. As a condition of that probation, you will complete a mental health evaluation and all required treatment deemed necessary. You will complete a substance abuse evaluation and complete all required treatment deemed necessary, as well as completing the batter's intervention program within the first year of probation. As I said, there are some other provisions contained within this written plea agreement that will be made part of the judgment and sentence. I'm assessing court costs and any and all statutory and mandatory fines. You will be fingerprinted. We should have DNA on file. Before we turn it to the victim impact portion, is there anything further on behalf of the state?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Defense?
Yeah, Judge, I would just, as far as corrections and computing her time served, to remember she was initially detained in Hawaii when she was in the rehab facility, so her actual booking date here at TGK does not reflect all of her credit for time served. I don't have the date of arrest, but I believe the date of arrest in Hawaii was August 10th of 2022, so she should receive all credit for time served from that date moving forward.
Does the state agree?
But Judge, the only issue is going to be, one, there has to be an order for it. Otherwise, it's
I'm
going.
happy to sign the order.
Otherwise, it's going to be from the time in which she was brought into custody. So.
Right, so if you're in agreement, let's draft an order, credit for time served from August 10th, 2022.
We will do that. We'll have it to your honor today.
All right, anything further on behalf of the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm filing the written plea agreement that I have now initialed and executed with the clerk. I'd like to now turn it over to Mr. Hanfield first, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the Obumseli family. As I said previously, thank you all for making the time to come here today, and I'm very, very sorry for this.
Judge, actually, before Mr. Hanfield speaks on behalf of the entire family, I believe we have Ms. Karen Aguna, who is going to be reading the victim's mother's statement to the court.
Thank you.
As I stand here to read my victim impact statement, I first give thanks to the Lord Almighty for his protection and guidance over our family throughout these past 4 years. I also want to thank the attorneys, the state attorney's office, Larry Hanfield, and everyone who helped make sure that Christian's voice and our family's voices were heard. I thank our family and our friends who called, prayed for us, checked on us, and stood beside us through this very, very difficult journey. I am Christian's mother. Words can never fully explain how Christian's death has affected my life and the lives of everyone in our family. There is simply too much pain to put on paper. On April 4th, 2022, while I was at work, I received the call that no parent should ever have to receive. I was asked to give consent for my son's eyes to be donated. I had just talked to him the day before and had no knowledge that he had been killed. That was the darkest day of my life. And the darkness continued to unfold as I learned Christian had been killed by his girlfriend, Courtney Clenney, someone he had trusted and loved. Since April 2022, I have lived with fear, anxiety, sleepless nights, heartache, and more tears than I could ever count. 4 years later, there are still nights when I cannot sleep. There are moments when my mind goes back to the last moments of Christian's life. As his mother, those thoughts are very difficult for me to carry. There was a joy in my life and in our family's life before Christian died that has never completely returned. His death did not only affect me, however. It affected my entire family, including his older brother, Jeffrey, his cousins, who were raised as siblings, and his grandmother, who loved him so much and called him her precious. We have all had to learn how to live with the empty place that cannot be filled. But I do not want Christian to be remembered only for how he died. Christian was my son. Everyone who knew Christian, who truly knew him, can attest that he was kind-hearted, compassionate, friendly, and respectful. He cared about other people. I remember one day when Christian and I were driving to a store. I stopped and I was going to give a homeless man a few dollars. Christian encouraged me to do much more than that. It was a small moment, but it showed the kind of heart he had. He saw another human being who needed help, and he wanted to make sure that that person had enough. Christian, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that I had the privilege of being your mother. Those are the memories that no one can ever take from us and me. Nothing can erase the pain of the day that I buried my son. Nothing can describe what it feels like for a mother to stand at the grave of her child. There are also the things that will never happen for me now that he's gone. The birthdays, the holidays we will not celebrate with him, the conversations we will never have, the person he would have continued to become. Those losses continue much longer after today's court case ends. For more than 4 years, we've lived with the loss every day and waited for accountability. Today closes a legal chapter, but it certainly doesn't close our grief. No sentence, no plea can bring back my son to me. My only hope is to carry his memory forward and to continue healing as a family. My prayer is that after today, Christian will simply not be remembered by the public as a name connected to a criminal case. He was a son, he was a brother, he was a cousin, he was a nephew and a grandson, and he was a friend to a lot of people. He was loved, he had a future, and his life had value and mattered. As a family, we are very private people. We have endured this loss while much of Christian's life and death have been discussed publicly and inaccurately to support a narrative created by Courtney, the person who took my son's life. There are parts of our grief that belong only to us, and I choose to keep those things within our family. But I want this court to understand this much. The loss of Christian did not end on April 4th, 2022. We carry it with us every day. Through everything, I continue to place my faith in God. Christian Toby Obumseli, I know you are with the Lord. Onwane Tilora, as your brother called you, which means the moon in the sky that shines for everyone. That is how I choose to remember you, as a light. Your legacy and your memory will remain with us. We miss you. We love you. May you continue to rest in peace, my son.
Thank you for those beautiful words.
May it please the court. State Representative of the State Attorney's Office, Courtney Clenney. On behalf of the Obumseli family, I would like to read into the record their final comments. April 4th of 2022, Christian Obumseli suffered a painful and tragic death at the hands of the person he loved. Sadly, that would be the person that would ultimately take his life. Christian loved deeply. It was his love that caused him to stay. Even after being previously cut in the face, previously stabbed in the leg by Courtney, he would later write that his love would eventually get him killed. In many ways, he predicted his own death at the hands of Courtney Clenney. Unfortunately, like so many individuals who will get caught up in not loving relationship, but just destructive relationship, he stayed. And we are here today because what he believed became a reality. By resolving this case today by way of a plea, Courtney Clenney avoids being judged by a jury of her peers. But that will never be able to escape the ultimate and final judgment for anyone's conduct. That judgment can only be handled by our Creator, our Almighty God. Your actions, you need to know, as you sit here today, and as you finish out serving your time for punishment, that you have left the Obumseli family with a void that can never be filled. The pain that continues to endure today as painful as it was when they learned of his untimely death. It is a pain that will never completely go away. A chair where family gathers for holidays will always remain empty. The Obumseli family has been forced into joining a membership that no family should ever want to be a part of. And as a family of mothers of murdered children. As a family, we still cannot get past the fact that Christian was stabbed while you remained on the phone with your mom. You then called downstairs to security, and then your third and final call, which should have been your first call, was to 911. In the meantime, you offered no life-saving measures to try to save Christian's life. To us, that is inhumane. Christian was someone's son, someone's brother, someone's nephew, someone's cousin, someone's friend, and most importantly, he was deeply loved. His life had meaning. He had a future. And his family deserved to grow old with him. He was robbed of all those things while you still have all yours to enjoy. Nothing can bring Christian back. Nothing can erase what happened. And nothing can fill the space that will forevermore be left empty. We will carry Christian's memory, his love, and his legacy with us for the rest of our lives. I thank the court for giving us, as a family, the opportunity to be heard and to let this be a part of the record. But lastly, through it all, we never even received an apology and an acknowledgement for the loss that changed our lives forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayfield. Would anyone else like to speak at this time?
I don't believe so, Judge. Not from the state.
Once again, for the entire family, thank you for being here. Thank you for the beautiful words that we read and what Mr. Hayfield read. Thank you for sharing the collage of pictures of Christian with me. And I really, really pray that his memory is a blessing to all of you. Thank you. Is there anything further on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Not by the defense, Judge.
Okay. I want to thank the attorneys once again for your diligent preparation and professionalism throughout the process. The court will be in recess at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
All rise.
You can take seats.
Boy, oh boy. She looking. She got it.
That's what I thought you was gonna make a copy.
You gave it to me, the judge was walking in.
Oh, well, you wanna go make a copy?
Can I make a copy of that?
Copy of what, sir? Maybe one, two, three. Wait, hold on. Give me a copy of it.
Everything.
Since you going back to
Everything. Running out? Yeah. You see what I've done? I'm processing my paperwork. Zoom on out. See you tomorrow, everybody. Same place, 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Don't be late.
Mr. Early.
Yes, sir.
I didn't want to say that.
Don't see it.
Coffee? Did you check and see if there's any coffee left?
What's that?
Did you check and see if there's any coffee
I did
left?
not check. But I had quite a bit today. Yeah, you've done a great job, sir.
I don't know. Check and see if there's any coffee left?
Never enough.
Please take it. Oh, no, you're not the machine.
You made coffee, guys?
Huh?
You made a coffee?
Yeah. I didn't have back there, so.
Oh, it's pretty decent.
I was scared they would mess up the machine or something, so I said, let me do it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
You tried it?
I don't, no, it's not big tomorrow, right? Carlos, it's not big tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow's calendar not big. It's not big. You here tomorrow? What? She has everything.
I am.
She has everything. I don't have enough. Because she got a copy of the fingerprint.
I know.
That's actually the fingerprint.
Okay, I'm
She
gonna
just wanted to be here for that.
Thank you. You need a big one?
No, it's okay. You got a picture? Oh, yeah, I need that. Look at this,
My office ordered, what's the problem?
this vintage stapler.
It says Darby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Celebrity painter.
Right. Okay, so she took your spot.
She took your love lady.
20 years. Like 25 years then?
Carlos, you gonna put no bond on the case in the bond? This one ain't the bond. You gonna put no bond on it? You're gonna address that one.
You said that was on Friday.
This one was on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That they would do the motion on Friday. They didn't do. He picked up some more, so they did them today. But that one was on Friday.
Okay, Friday.
I got all my dates, Carlos.
Okay.
One of these days.
One of these days.
I'm not talking no more. For the rest of the week, hold on. Watch. For the rest of the week.
All right, I'm coming up. I'm done. My job is done. I'm coming up. I'm coming up.
I thought you told me you were not gonna be here on Monday.
I know, I told you that. I did.
Slide.
And I knew you were gonna be here too.
I can't do you like that, Gus.
Well, that's what you told me.
I know, I didn't want you to know. I was trying
I
to
knew
be,
already.
I was trying to be secretive with it.
I wanted to see if you would tell me. Because I already knew they were not letting you know who comes, so I knew it was you coming.
She
So.
sat over
I
there.
know.
You saw her over there?
Yeah. I saw what you wanted to do.
She was like, I'm gonna say, I said, say what? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Nothing. All right, baby. There's nothing to say.
Where you going?
Yeah. There's nothing to say. I need to go to the restroom. Can I go to the restroom?
No, but I mean, you want to be in here or you want to be out like out? Cool.
This month.
Unless you said,
Yes, she was the one. She was the one who was reading the letter that she brought. The mom is a white dress. No, the mother is in the second row. So yes.
how you doing?
No.
I'm trying to play.
The one who was reading with the white dress. The one reading with the white dress. Yes. On behalf of the mom. I think I heard that was Karen.
¿Cómo te ha ido? Muy bien.
¿Eso no? Muévete, mira, muévete.
Questions? Yes. Well, this was a resolution that was agreed to. Her accepting responsibility and in pleading guilty is the first step of accountability. What the family wanted was accountability. And at least today we received that in a public record, in a public courtroom. It takes away all the horrific things that has been stated in the media trying to undermine and destroy Kristen's life. But today, closure comes by virtue of she stood up, pled guilty, and accepted responsibility and took responsibility acknowledging that she was the one responsible. She caused the death of his, and the stabbing was a result of a criminal act, not an act of self-defense, not an accident, but an act that she did willfully, and today she accepted full responsibility for her actions.
You said step one is to lay the groundwork for civil.
All I can say is that I'm not speaking about any civil matter. I'm speaking only solely about the criminal matter.
Do you think the incident with the state attorneys being one of the top prosecutors being forced to get out the case, do you think that whole incident with the laptop issue had at play at going to trial, maybe risking some things. Does that at all connect to what happened here today?
No. Any incident in reference to the laptop had no bearing. Cases generally are resolved by way of plea prior to trial. This was no different than any other case. The most important thing is that the family wanted someone to accept responsibility, and the family saw that today. She is a convicted felon for the rest of her life. She will be, when she gets out of prison, she will be on 5 years probation. The crime for which she pled guilty to and was convicted as a felon, if she violates probation, carries a 30-year prison sentence. And so therefore, no amount of time was going to bring Kristen back. The family was aware of that. But at least this gives them an opportunity to try to bring closure to a very traumatic, life-changing experience. No family should ever have to go through what the Obumseli had to go to. And they learned of his death through a telephone call, someone from Miami requesting to donate his organs. That's the worst call that anybody should ever have to suffer.
Did the family expect to hear from Courtney Clenney today? Did they want to hear from her today?
Well, I don't think there's anything that she could say that can change what happened. I think that she should have at least apologized, but even her apology would not have removed what she did April of 2022.
If she doesn't violate her probation, though, she's out in 2 years. Is that hard to accept?
It is the reality of the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system, when you're dealing with pleas, is give and take. I represent the family. I don't represent the state attorney's office. Based upon wanting this matter to come to a closure, the family was aware of it and allowed for the resolution to take place as it did today.
Is there something that was risky in going to trial that could have messed up the state's case and maybe got an acquittal?
Well, I think in every case there's always a give and take. There's nothing guaranteed. She could have been found guilty. She could have been found guilty of a lesser, such as manslaughter. Under manslaughter with discharge in the state of Florida, the minimum sentence is probation. The maximum would have been 30 years prison. And so therefore, it's very difficult to speculate as relates to what would have happened at trial. We believe that the evidence would have shown, most importantly, that at the time in which Kristen received a knife in his chest, there was no imminent threat of danger as relates to Courtney Clenney. But nonetheless, this at least brings closure to the family. They want to move on with their life. This has been a nightmare for 4 years. And when we go back to our doing our normal days, they still have to wake up every day with the loss of Kristen Obumseli. And that's something that no family should have to endure. It is very, very tragic, and for a mother to have to bury their own child. So at this point, we now ask that the public allow them to return back to some degree of normality, as difficult as that may be.
Let's say after 2 years she'll be out. Is the family okay with potentially, she made her career making money, right, like on social media. Is the family okay with her potentially making money out of what happened to Christian?
Well, the law in Florida is no one convicted of a felony of taking someone's life is allowed to benefit financially for that action. The Attorney General of Florida made that very clear. That is the law in the state of Florida, regardless of what the defense have indicated that they may challenge that law or not. That is the law. It's similar to the Son of Sam's law. Basically, you cannot benefit from your wrongdoing. And so therefore, that is the law. I believe that will be maintained as the law. If there is any enrichment from it, it will go to the victim's family.
you talk a little bit about what you had hoped Courtney would have done that day? You said she could have called 911. She could have done a bunch of things she didn't do.
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
Well, I mean, if at the time of the incident, when she threw the knife or stabbed him, as we believe, in his chest, most caring person, even in the act of passion or the act of emotional trauma, once you realize what you have done, most human beings will try to save the person's life. She was on the phone, as evidenced by their own records. At the time, she was on the phone with her mom. He's bleeding to death on the floor. She continued the conversation. The next call she made was to the security downstairs. The last call was to 911. By the time 911 got there, he was dead.
Do you think if she would have called 911 first, we wouldn't be here today?
I don't know, but I know that that would have at least shown human compassion. That would have shown some humanity. I think that every reasonable person would agree with that. But to allow a person to bleed to death and then run behind saying you did it in self-defense while they're on the floor dying in your presence, I believe that that speaks a whole lot about the character of the person.
And the family believed that his love for her cost him his life.
Absolutely, he predicted it. He indicated in his text, his writings, before that he believed that his love will eventually cause his demise at her hands.
Do they wish he never dated her?
Well, they wished he was alive today. That's what they wish. And they've been robbed of that.
You mentioned
Thank you.
injuries he suffered in the past. Also, some mention of the narrative that she painted of abuse by him. Are you suggesting that she was the abuser, far more aggressive than what has been described as?
That's what the independent evidence shows and established. He was cut in the face by her, went to the hospital. He was stabbed in the thigh by her. And then the ultimate final episode was what happened while we're here today, where he was stabbed in the eye.
Has the
Thank
court
you.
said anything to the family? Have they apologized?
No.
In the courtroom, we heard a little bit about who Christian was. So I wanted to ask, how does the family want him to be remembered?
As a loving person, as a person who would give his last, as a very compassionate person, and even his own conduct has shown that when he was attacked before, where he had to go to the hospital being cut, he didn't call law enforcement. He never called the police on her because he loved her. He was blind by that love. And that's why he felt and predicted that it would be love that would take his life. It was in his text. He was texting her. These are evidence that were found in his text phone. Thank you all so much.